Hi, I'm Pastor Bill. Silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee. Those are the words that the Apostle Peter said to a man who had been born a cripple from his mother's womb, a man who at the time was 40 years old, a man at the time that needed the help of the Holy Spirit and the power of God to manifest, a man that had been feeling rejected all of his life, probably pretty much every day of his life, every conscious day of his life. And we talked a little bit about the circumstances of that man, but today I want to talk about the feelings, the attitudes that this man must have had, his mental health, his thoughts as he had heard the gospel. Now I want you to think for a moment. Here was a man that we're told that was taken daily to the gate, the beautiful gate of the temple that led into the temple of God, and of course into Solomon's porch, this great big arena where people could preach to thousands of people. And every single day he would be taken there. He couldn't get there on his own. He had a mother and father who were still, probably retired. They were, a 40-year-old child. They couldn't have been functioning too well. They had been feeling the shame all their life of having a child that was a cripple. The breadwinner of the house who could not provide for mother and father except for begging, and having to have somebody, and he may even have had to hire somebody to bring him there to beg, to get whatever he could. And here was a man, think about his attitude toward people and even toward God. For instance, think about what he must have felt toward God. God, why did you make me this way? You did me wrong. What did I do to deserve this? Look at all these children that are playing. There must have been envy and jealousy, strife and division in his heart, deep wounds that were embedded, deep wounds of resentment toward God. Even if he tried to put on the best face for all the devout Jews that would be there, like, oh, I'm a good guy, I'm a man of God, I believe in God, yet he never would be brought into the place of prayer. He never went in there with an attitude of prayer, but rather he went out there to hang out at the gate and beg, having the feeling that that was the only way he could provide. There had to have been some built up resentment that would have caused him over the years to reject Jesus. Remember, he had been at that gate for every day. That means Jesus walked by him, at least 3 times a year. 3 times a year, Jesus would come, even though he was a Galilean. Jesus would come to the temple to worship God. He had heard of Jesus turning over the tables and saying, "My house will be a house of prayer." He had heard the sermon by Solomon's porch when Jesus said, when they confronted Jesus, "Tell us directly." He had heard what Jesus had been teaching from other people, if he didn't hear everything, firsthand, and yet he rejected the Lord, rejected the Lord, rejected the Lord, rejected the Lord, denied the Lord, had no time for that business, had no attitude. How about the people that would be coming through day by day, even the new Christians, these new people with newfound faith that must have looked upon him and walked by and had seen him like that, and had come to him and said, "Listen, Jesus Christ can make your life better. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this." And some more people would be walking in, and he'd be pushing them back with an attitude, say, "Leave me alone, get away from me, stop talking to me, not now, not now. I've got business to attend to, I've got to beg. Please help me, help me, help me. My mother is hungry, my father is hungry, I'm the only provider." I mean, think about these things, the resentment that he had in his heart. You'd wonder how God could heal this man. Would God heal this man? And why did it take a manifestation of the Holy Spirit in Acts chapter 3 to take care of him? That's the reason. His circumstances had diverted his attention away from God. His trial, his test, had caused him to have disinterest toward the things of God, didn't care for the things of God, didn't believe them, harboring bitterness toward God and his fellow man. Oh yeah, he might put on a good face and try to be friendly, and people knew him, but deep down in his heart, he resented the people that could walk into that place, that could enjoy their lives. And I want to keep you in remembrance of that. Your circumstances may be very dire, and it may be very distracting for you, and your attitude may sour. Your own mental health can diminish, but there's still a God that extends mercy. And tomorrow I want to talk a little bit about why and how God manifested himself to do this wonderful miracle. It was supernatural assistance from the power of God for a man that nobody thought was deserving. Even Jesus had walked by him without ministering to him, but God provided, and God provided in a marvelous way. You have a great day. God bless.